ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेष्व भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले सोऽयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेव श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषय नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। सर्वशास्त्राभिपीयूष सर्ववेदैकसत्पद सर्वसिद्धान्तरत्नाढ्य सर्वलोकैकदृक्पद सर्वभागवत प्राण श्रीमद्भागवत प्रभो कलिध्वान्तोदितादित्य श्रीकृष्ण परिवर्तित परमानंद पाठाय प्रेमवर्ष्यक्षराय ते सर्वदा सर्वसेव्याय श्रीकृष्णाय नमोऽस्तु मे मदेकबन्धो मत्सङ्गिन् मद्गुरो मन्महाधन मन्निस्तारक मद्भाग्य मदानंद नमोऽस्तु ते असाधु साधुता दायिन् अतिनिचोच्चताकर हानमुञ्च कदाचिन्मां प्रेम्णा रथकण्ठयोऽस्फुर। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणम की जय। दशमस्य विशुद्ध्यर्थं नवानामिह लक्षणं वर्णयन्ति महात्मानः श्रुतेन चार्थेन चान्यसः। Hare Krishna. So welcome all of you in today's session. So we continue our discussions from the 10th canto. We are studying from 10th canto, first chapter, the Advent of Lord Krishna introduction. And in this we have seen till text 26. So till text 26, we have seen in various sections uh, the initial conversation between Parikshit and Shukadev was discussed till text 15, 16 almost. And then text 17 onwards, the context of Krishna's appearance has begun. So from 17 to 26, we saw how the earth was very much overburdened. The time of Vaivasvat Manvantara's 28th Divya Yuga, uh, just before Lord Krishna's appearance. So that time is that era is being described where earth was overburdened by many demoniac kings and their military phalanxes. So she approached Brahma, and then all of them they went to the shore of Milk Ocean where they prayed to the Supreme Lord. So Supreme Lord spoke those words which Brahmaji witnessed in his samadhi, and in four verses we saw also that how Brahma recounted those words to all the demigods, and in this way reassured Mother Earth and then went back to his abode. So that was text 26. So now we proceed from text 27 onwards. So here is now the matter at hand, where we see the context now shifts to Kamsa, Shurasena, and there Ugrasen was ruling, and Kamsa was his son. So the whole context of now Kamsa and Kamsa's atrocities, they are being discussed. Then further, Lord Krishna's appearance will be described. But in order to describe that appearance, so all these events, all the way leading to Lord Krishna's appearance, they will be described till the end of the chapter, actually, complete. We see this. So, text 27 now, we will continue now. So, this is text 27. You can see my screen. शूरसेनो यदुपतिर् मथुरामा वसन्पुरीं माथुरान् शूरसेनांश्च विषयान् बुभुजे पुरा. Madhavendra Puri Prabhu, you want to read? You can unmute yourself.
Yes.
Oh,
There is
okay.
echo.
There's no problem. You can mute yourself. I'll ask Anand Mohini Mataji, please read.
Ji Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Good.
Formerly Shursen, the chief of Yadu dynasty, had gone to live in the city of Mathura. There he enjoyed the places known as Mathura and Shurasen.
Yeah, thank you. All right. So the context is now shifting to the province of Mathura. Shuraseno Yadupathir. And there was this chief of the Yadu dynasty called as Shurasena. And he, Mathuram Avasan, while residing in the province, or rather in the city of Mathura, Mathurapuri, Mathuram Avasan Purim. So while residing, while living there, this person, it is said Bubhuje, he ruled Bubhuje, or it can also mean he enjoyed Bubhuje. Bhuj dhatu as in bhokta, the words like bhokta or bhojanam, all those bhunjanaha, same root is there. So he ruled these provinces called as Mathura province or Shurasena province. Shurasen was a larger tract of land, and within that, Mathura was one city. So that's why Mathuran, Shurasenan, Vishayan. Vishayan here is actually land. Vishaya here means land or kingdom, like that. So he ruled over these kingdoms. Very, I mean, this is in former times. And this Shurasena is a different Shurasena. This is not Vasudev's father. This is being spoken of quite some time back. This Shurasena was actually son of Kartavirya Arjun. Kartavirya Arjun or Sahasra Arjun, you know this personality. He is a popular person. So he had 1,000 sons, and only five were spared. All others were killed by in battle with Parshuram. So this Kartavirya Arjuna's only five sons were existing, and one of them was Shurasen, who had become the king of not king, but the ruler, you could say, because the Yadu dynasty was not entitled to become the king. Uh, there was this curse of Yayati, right? All of you know this story. Yayati cursed four of his sons, except Puru. Yayati had five sons, and out of which he cursed four of them with different curses. So the curse for the Yadu was that your descendants will never become kings. Uh, they may have some prosperity and all that, but they will not be kings. They will not become kings. Kings will be different people, but they can continue to have whatever the prosperity. So that's why here also it is mentioned Suraseno Yadupati. He was the chieftain of the Yadu dynasty. It's not said as a king like that. Yeah. So that's how this Shurasena is one of the sons of Kartavirya Arjun or Sahasrarjun, and he lived some generations back. Naturally, in that same generation later, then all this personality, Ugrasena, in the same dynasty, then Ugrasena and all of them will come in the future. And then Ugrasena's son is Kamsa. Okay, so you can see the commentaries. Sridhar Swami says, Bhojendra Bandhanagare Avataraya Prastava Kathamaha. So now, starting from these verses, what is happening? He says, Prastava Katha. And this is actually introductory topics are being spoken. Introduction is being spoken. Prastava Katha. Uh, what are these topics giving introduction to? Bhojendra Bandhanagare Avataraya. These topics are introducing the main topic of Sri Krishna's descent or Sri Krishna's appearance in that jail of Bhojendra, jail of Kamsa, uh, in that jail house, you could say. I mean, it was a place where there were, it was like a house. It was a jail, but it was also like a house where there were servants and there were all these people who could go and meet also them, designated people. So, Bhojendra Bandhanagare, like that. So, Shurasena ityadina yavat adhyaya samap. So starting from this verse, Shurasena ityadina, starting from this verse and all other verses, yavad adhyaya samapti, till the end of the chapter. Now this is only the topic. This is the prastava katha. And this is the introductory discussion, which will lead to the discussion of disappearance of the appearance of Lord Krishna and descent or appearance of Lord Krishna, like that. So that's the topic. Sanatana Goswami, he speaks about this word Mathura. It's a very special place, right? Mathura is the greatest dham of the Lord. So Acharyas have commented on this word Mathura. Uh, what does it mean? Swagunaihi sarvachittasya mathanat vilodanath Mathura. It is called Mathura. This place is called Mathura because Mathura, which means mathanam. It causes mathanam, manthan. You understand mathanam is churning or stirring up. So Mathura is that which causes churning. It causes stirring up, agitation. Agitating with what? Uh, Sarva chittasya mathana vilodanath. Vilodanam also means the same thing. Vilodanam, meaning basically Mathanath is only being translated as Vilodanath. So Mathura, it churns or stirs up everyone's heart with its qualities. Swagunaihi sarvachittasya mathana, Mathura. Meaning the land of Vrindavan, Mathura here means the entire province of Vraja also. Within Mathura, Mathura Mandala, that's what it means. So that obviously includes Vrindavan, Vrindavan, Barsana, all these provinces. So what does it mean that when it is said Mathura churns or stirs up the heart of everyone with its qualities? Meaning, the pastimes of Lord in this place are like so extraordinary. They are filled with such sweetness, such emotional, crescendo of divine emotions that it is considered to be like uh, that which is causing complete churning of everyone's heart. That's how. So it's in that positive sense of uh, every heart is churned by the beautiful pastimes of the Supreme Lord that He performs. So if one hears these pastimes, if one hears in the association of devotees with faith, then we see that they will cause a great churning, right? See, when you churn curd, dahi, right? Yogurt is churned. So what happens? Then one gets the butter, navanita, right? So that butter is very desirable, churning from the yogurt or curd. So similarly, this land is so wonderful that it churns our heart and brings out that devotion, brings out that prema for the Lord. The place's influence is being spoken. huh? The place is full of such sweetness and such wonderful pastimes of the Lord that it's the zenith of Lord's abodes. It's the topmost place of between the amongst the Lord's abodes, like that. So in that sense, sarva chittasya mathanat, like that. And it's also called as Puri. So Puri is, Mathura is known as one of the seven great cities, Saptapuris. There are seven great cities well known in Puranas. So one of them is Mathura, Ayodhya, Kashi, Haridwar, then even Jagannath Puri, uh, or sometimes known as also Avanti, Ujjain is also there. So all these places, Kanchipuram, that's also one of them. Right? So these seven Saptapuris, they are very popular. And because Mathura is also one of them. So that's why she is Prasiddha. Mathura is very well known as Saptapuri. These places are said to be the places which bestow Mokshadayini, Mokshadayinyah Saptapuryaha, it is mentioned. These offer the liberation. These seven places are very popular for awarding liberation. So, what to speak of then within that Mathura, right? It is extraordinarily special, highest abode. Uh, there is this Gopal Tapani Upanishad which speaks about this particular thing also. Durvasa Muni glorifies Mathura Puri over there. Uh, Gopal Tapani Upanishad is very wonderful, actually. The discussion there is very beautiful. So there we see it's an Upanishad. It comes in Atharva Veda. It's part of Atharva Veda, but it's glorifying Krishna and Sri Radharani. She is named as Gandharvi there. Gandharvi, Gandharvika, Gandharvi. And it's glorifying Vrindavan and the pastimes of Vrindavan, the Gopal mantra, and very beautiful discussion. So Mathura is glorified there also. It is mentioned there also in Mathura that it is Sakshat Gopal Puri. Tasam Madhe Brahma Sakshat Gopalapuri. This is the word. So it is actually it's manifested Brahman. It's Lord's own abode. It is the highest. Tasam Madhe Sakshat Brahma Gopal. And like that. Amongst all the seven cities also, Gopal Tapani Upanishad especially distinguishes Mathura as very special. Mathura meaning, as I said, the entire Mathura means Braja Mandal, Mathura Mandal, everything. So it's a very special place. So the word Puri is mentioned because it is well known as such. It is the popular. one of the seven Puris cities. The land was well known as Shurasena because it was ruled by him. And then when this Shurasena, son of Kartaviri Arjun, when he started ruling there, he made that place into his capital actually. So then the province came to be known as Shurasena after him, this person who was one of the sons of Sahasrarjun. It is said Pati here, master of that land, right? Yadupati. And it is not said Raja. The word that's used is not Yaduraj or something. It is Pati, Yadupati. Since there was no kingship owing to Yayati's curse. So because Yayati had cursed that none of the descendants of Yadu would ever become kings. So that's why they are said to be Pati here and not the Raja, although they lived in opulence like kings, but yeah, they were always subservient to the main king of that particular place, the bigger province like that. So that was the thing. Jiv Goswami also comments on Mathura word, Mathyate tu jagat sarvam brahma jnanena yena va tat bhutam yad yasyam mathura sa nigatyate. Uh, just there are some typos here. It should be Mathura and this should be Jnanena. So this is also a verse from actually Gopal Tapani Upanishad, which gives the etymology of the word Mathura. So how is the word formed etymologically? Mathyate tu jagat sarvam brahmajnanena yena va. So that place where the entire world is churned, uh, entire universe has been churned by the knowledge of the Supreme Lord, Brahma Jnanena. Yena takes the meaning as Bhakti Yogena. This is the Mathura is the place where the whole universe or everyone is churned, and the heart is churned of everyone by the knowledge of the Supreme Brahma Jnanena or by the devotional service Bhakti Yoga, and that is so prominently available there, seen there. Tatsara Bhutam Yad Yasyam Mathura Sa Nigadyate. That place is known as Mathura, where we see that Tatsara Bhutam, meaning the personification or the manifest essence of all that Brahma Jnana or Bhakti Yoga is residing there eternally. Who is that actually? That is Supreme Lord, right? Tatsara Bhutam. One who is the manifest essence, one who is the personification of all knowledge of the Supreme or of Bhakti Yoga that processes essence, basically it is referring to the Supreme Lord who is manifesting there personally always. Mathura is the place where Lord resides always. In some other places, Lord may perform pastime and may go away, but in Mathura, he resides always. He manifests his prakata pastimes, manifest leelas, and then once manifest leelas are over, he still continues to reside there in a prakata leela, unmanifest manner. So this is a very special prerogative of land of Vrindavan or Mathura, where Lord continues to reside. And that next verse is speaking this idea. Yatra nityam sannihito harihi. So even when there is Kali Yuga or anything like that, uh, this place, it is beyond the deficiencies or the doshas of time and place and yuga or like that. Lord continues to perform his pastimes in unmanifest manner on this in this place. So Mathura is that place where that Tatsara Bhutam, that manifest essence of the knowledge of Brahman. Brahman here means, don't just take that impersonal Brahman. Brahma meaning the supreme truth, absolute truth. So, who is the manifest essence of that? That's actually the Supreme Lord. So he appears there and he resides there always. So that's why the place is known as Mathura. So basically, you can remember in this way that place which churns our heart to bring out that Navanita, that butter of devotion to Krishna. That place is Mathura, right? It's such a sweet place where we see that anybody who resides in this place, it brings about that devotion so wonderfully. It brings out, uh, right? There are many other spiritual places also in India, but Vrindavan or Mathura, it has a very different effect, right? That devotion, and not just Brahmadhyana, not just the aspect of knowledge of Supreme, but the devotional aspect comes out like in such a sweet manner. So this place is like that. So it churns out the heart. In fact, later Sanatan Goswami says that Mathura is like such a place that it even churns Krishna. Nityam Sannihito Harihi. Krishna is not able to leave this place because this place is so the devotion here, the devotees, and the pastimes here are so wonderful that even Lord's heart is churned. He cannot leave this place. He eternally resides in this place, whether in manifest or unmanifest pastimes, like that. Vallabhacharya, VA stands for Vallabhacharya. Sometimes I do uh, take some of their comments also if they are different from our acharyas or something additional. Although I am not extensively studying those commentaries, I would say sometimes I see some comment in passing, then I would take that. Primarily, I study three commentaries, which is Vishwanath Chakravarti, Jiva Goswami, and Sanatana Goswami, and of course Sridhar Swami, but he writes very small commentary usually. So four commentaries. So these four, we will see these ideas primarily from the four commentators. But sometimes, if I feel like sharing something from other commentators, so I will also do that. So here is Vallabhacharya, who speaks about that point that among the five remaining sons of Sahasrajuna's sons, Shurasena was second. So this is this Shurasena. The idea of the kingdom of Yadavas is rejected because of Yayati. Therefore, it is a kingdom only in terms of prosperity. There is no king of Yadus, and there is no kingdom also. There is no Raja and there is no Rajyam, because we saw that because Yayati had cursed in that manner. So that's how. Okay, so I think we know. Rajadhani tatha sabhut sarva yadava bhubhujam Mathura Bhagwan Yatra Nityam Sannihito Harihi. Okay. Ishwar Prabhu, you want to read?
Yeah, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Dhanat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Danda.
Since that time, the city of Mathura had been the capital of all the kings of the Yadu dynasty. The city and district of Mathura are intimately connected with Krishna, for Lord Krishna lives there eternally. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you. So, Tataha, thereafter, meaning after this person, Shurasena, this personality started residing there and made that particular place into his capital. Rajadhani Sabhut, Sa Mathura, that particular Mathura, she became the capital city, Rajdhani. Uh, Sarva Yadava Bhubhujam, of all those chiefs, uh, chief people who appeared in that Yadav dynasty. Bhubhujam, again, proper translates as kings, but yeah, basically it means chieftains. Mathura Bhagwan Yatra Nityam Sannihito Hari. So that place became a capital, which is qualified as Yatra Bhagavan Harihi Nityam Sannihitaha, where Lord Hari, Shri Krishna, he is constantly residing, always residing, eternally residing there. Sannihitaha. Jiva Goswami. The word Rajdhani is used because, in spite of Yayati's curse, the conduct of Shurasena and others could hardly be matched by kings due to the immense might of Shurasena and others. Thus, it is also said, Bhujam. So, the purpose of using the word as Rajdhani, capital, is that they lived in such great opulence. They may not be accepted as kings, right? Like even when Pandavas were ruling, so the Yadavas, they were not called as kings, right? This was one of the reasons also where when Samba kidnapped uh, Lakshmana, so then the Kurus were very angry and they spoke also in very humiliating manner. So we see that then Balaram became very angry and wanted to drown the whole Hastinapur. So that time also they say that when we are the kings, you are not the kings. You are just appointed representatives of the king. But actually, the kind of power that Yadus had, the kind of opulence they had, even the kings could not match their immense might, their powers, or their opulence. So that's why words like Rajadhani have been used, or Bhujam, the enjoyer of the land. That word has been used like that. Okay. Vishwan Chakravarti says, Nityam Sannihitaha Hari, where Lord Hari constantly resided or resides. So, what does that mean? Krishna, the Lord in person, who is most complete, Purna Purushottama, is already continuously abiding there in his own abode. So, he continues to reside in Mathura always. This is his eternal abode. After his Avirbhava, he becomes visible in the material world. So when Prakat Leela is there, so he manifests those pastimes in Mathura. But when when the Leela becomes Aprakata, then he does not manifest those pastimes in Mathura, but the pastimes are going on in Mathura. He resides like that. So Lord's appearance in Mathura is actually not from, you could say, not from Vaikuntha or like that. He's like constantly there, and he just manifests and unmanifests. In the place of Vrindavan, it is eternal pastimes going on, or Prakata Leela. Srila Jiva Goswami says that this is not the nature of every Dhamma. He says this is very special, especially about Vrindavan, like that. So other places are also most auspicious, no doubt. But are they places of Lord's Prakata and Aprakata Leela? Not necessarily. They may or may not be like that. But especially with Mathura, that is very special. Vrajamandala, Mathura Mandala. So when Lord becomes visible in Mathura, meaning he manifests his pastimes in Mathura, it is not that he descends after coming from somewhere in Vaikuntha or like that. No, because you can see that this is his eternal abode. So he is basically just manifesting from Aprakata to Prakat Leela. That's the point basically. The point is to be conveyed that it's place of his eternal pastimes. They are constantly going on there. So the Bhauma Vrindavan is manifested by Lord, and just as Lord performs his pastimes eternally in Goloka Vrindavan, similarly he also manifests those pastimes in Bhauma Vrindavan, in Prakata and Aprakata. both ways, like that. So that's the point. Moreover, at the time of his Avirbhava, his Amshas, having come from Vaikuntha, Shvetadvip, and so on, merge in him, and at the conclusion of his pastimes on earth, return to their respective abodes. When Lord Krishna appears, we know that all the different other incarnations or his Amshas, they also come within him. So they might come from various abodes like Vaikuntha or Shvetadvipa and all those abodes. When he appears, we know that the other day also we discussed all, even the other personalities like Vamana or like Lord Narayana himself, Param Vyomadhipati Narayana or Kshirodakshayi Vishnu, they all reside within the body of Sri Krishna, right? Uh, So that's why the point is that at the conclusion of his pastimes, so these particular expansions of the Lord can go back to their abodes. But for Lord, he just makes those pastimes unmanifest like that. He he continues to reside in Mathura. That's the point. He continues to reside in Mathura. So the the pastimes of Vrindavan or Krishna, they are actually appearing, they are becoming manifest from the unmanifest realm. That's all, like that. Now, that if someone wants to call it as avatar or like that, it's fine. That is how. Avatar word is understood in different ways, right? Avatar can mean descent, uh, and it can also mean that portion is coming. That is called also avatar. So avatar word is used even for Krishna. Sometimes avatar word is used, but then it is more used as descent. Like that. So even in Sri tradition and all, right? Krishnastu Bhagwan Swayam, when they see that verse, so they say as far as Krishna is considered, he should be considered equal to Narayana. That commentary is by even Veeraraghav, who is one of the Sri Sampradaya acharyas. That okay, Krishna's uniqueness, position is appreciated by, uh, based on that verse by many traditions, even by Sridhar Swami. Uh, so distinction is made certainly that okay, we may have as Gaudiyas, we may understand that okay, Krishna is not only just you could say non-different than the Supreme Lord Narayana, but in our Sampradaya we understand that he is the Swayam Bhagavan. He is the source of all other incarnations, all other expansions also. But at least one common understanding based on whoever has commented, whichever tradition comments on Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, one common understanding is that of all the incarnations, avatars, Krishna is very special because he is not different than Narayana. He is Purna Avatar, and that is the term used. He is Purna Avatar. He is just equal to Narayana in every aspect in this way. So that's how. I mean, I'm just sharing also the idea from other sampradayas that way. So anyhow, what we are studying here is from our tradition and how our acharyas have given the understanding of these verses. So these other expansions of Supreme Lord Krishna, they might come down from Vaikuntha and then they might ascend back to those various places. But as far as Krishna is there, he just goes into his unmanifest pastimes, right? Even in Dwaraka Leela, you must be aware of this, that Lord Krishna, he just went into unmanifest pastimes of Dwaraka and then who went back to the way like Lord departed in terms of going back to the abode, and that was seen. All that aspect is for actually Krishna's uh, expansions, like Lord coming from Vaikuntha, Narayana, and all that. So, okay, anyways, that disappearance aspect we will talk sometime. It's a topic of 11th canto. And the disappearance of Lord Krishna is itself quite an elaborate thing. Exactly what happened. Uh, it's very nicely explained by Jiva Goswami, Krishna Sandarbh, and also by Vishwanath. So we'll take that in 11th canto. So here, yeah, the point is that Nityam Sannihito. So the point to be noted here is that yes, Mathura is the abode of the Lord where he resides continuously, whether in manifest pastimes he may be seen by everyone, but even when those pastimes are over, he's still continuing to perform pastime in this place. And that is called as a Prakata Leela, Nitya Leela, or Prakata Leela. It is understood that Mathura city is the transcendental abode of Lord Krishna. It is not an ordinary material city, for it is eternally connected with the Supreme Personality of God. Because Mathura and Vrindavan are intimately connected with Krishna eternally, it is said that Lord Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. Vrindavanam parityajya padamekam nagacchati. So, the point here is that we see that, within Vrindavan, the aspect of Shama Sundar Krishna, he always continues to perform those pastimes within Vrindavan. So, Vrindavanam parityajya padam ekam na gacchati. At one level, you can understand it to mean that Shama Sundar Krishna himself, he never leaves Vrindavan. He continues to reside in Vrindavan always. Same way. He is manifest pastime, and once the pastimes are over, still he is there only. He continues to perform unmanifest pastimes like that, this way. But even not only the aspect of Shama Sundar Krishna, even within Mathura, we see that the Lord's abode, Mathura also, here also, it's a constant pastime of Sri Krishna going on, even in Mathura. The place, like now we understand geographically, okay, Vrindavan is there, but then also Mathura is there, right? So at both the places, he is performing simultaneously pastimes, this way. So whether Mathura Mandala or within that the Vraja Mandala specifically, in both cases, the point there is that appropriate forms of the Lord, they are performing the pastimes in both the places. This one. At present, the place known as Vrindavana in the district of Mathura continues its position as a transcendental place. And certainly anyone who goes there becomes transcendentally purified. So Prabhupada is glorifying that aspect of Mathura also. Shri Gauda Mandala Bhumi, Geva Jane Chinta Mani, Tara Hoye Vrajabhumi Pas. And then Prabhupada also compares Vrajabhumi to Gauda Mandala Bhumi, how Navadvip and Vrindavan, they are non-different this way. So, especially this revelation within the Gaudiya Sampradaya, we accept that Navadvip and Vrindavan, they are both considered to be non-different. The Lord has made it convenient for the conditioned soul to live in Mathura, Vrindavan, and Navadvip, and thus be directly connected with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Simply by living in these places, one can immediately come in contact with the God. There are many devotees who vow never to leave Vrindavan and Mathura. This is undoubtedly a good vow. But if one leaves Vrindavan, Mathura, or Navadvip Dham for the service of the Lord, he is not to be disconnected from the Supreme Personality of God. So, these places are very special, right? And to be able to reside in these places is actually the greatest fortune. Prabhupada says also there are many who take a vow that they will never leave Vrindavan or Mathura. And this is undoubtedly a very good vow. But in order to share the knowledge of Krishna consciousness, if one is living Vrindavan, Mathura, or Navadvipa, then he will also carry that Vrindavan within his heart, right? Like Prabhupada himself left Vrindavan, but then that was so that so many others could be brought to Vrindavan. So he carried that Vrindavan within his heart always, wherever he went, and then also brought them to Vrindavan. So if somebody is doing that kind of service, then in fact that is so wonderful, uh, connecting others also to Vrindavan, isn't it? So sometimes devotees, they may have some sort of uh, misunderstanding about those residing in Vrindavan or like that. Actually, it's very wonderful to reside in Vrindavan. If one has the blessings of Guru and the seniors, it's very nice to reside in Vrindavan like that. So, but that should be done under instruction. That should be done under the instruction of Guru and Guru, Shiksha Gurus. Then it's okay. If one whimsically wants to take up residence in Vrindavan without the blessings of Vaishnavas or like that, then it may be it. I mean, in that case also, someone can say that okay, it's a very auspicious, it's the most auspicious place to reside. But then one has to also see, does one have that kind of service in Vrindavan? Because we may reside in Vrindavan, but if we don't have service, so we might offend the Dhamma, we might offend the devotee staying in Dhamma if we don't have proper engagement of our mind and senses. So this is very important that we also have right engagement so that we can have that right mood in residing in Vrindavan that way. But the point is that actually staying in Vrindavan, it's a very great fortune, and those who are able to reside, we glorify their fortune. We appreciate their fortune that they can stay in Dhamma. It's so wonderful. But at the same time, wherever we stay, we can make it into Vrindavan. That's how our acharyas taught us, right? That's how Srila Prabhupada taught us that whichever place one may reside, if one performs devotional service with great intensity, preaches and shares the Krishna consciousness, brings about that same mode of devotional service, then that place is also Vrindavan. Anyone who executes devotional service in these places certainly goes back home, back to Godhead, after giving up his body. Yeah. Thus the words Mathura Bhagwan Atra Nityam Sannito Hari are particularly important. A devotee should fully utilize this instruction to the best of his ability. So that's how in our moment also we have regular visits to Vrindavan, right? If one cannot stay in Vrindavan, but at least one can make regular visits in Vrindavan and carry that great inspiration from Vrindavan to sustain our lives wherever we are trying to preach and share Krishna consciousness. So one may not be able to reside in Vrindavan, but one can at least make sure that one is making regular visits to these places like Vrindavan, Mathura, Mayapur, so that one can be spiritually surcharged. So Prabhupada is appreciating actually this place, Vrindavan and Mathura. Okay, so what happened there then? This is the particular episode. Tasyam to karhishit chaurir vasudevah krutodvahah devakya suryaya sardham prayane rathamaruhat. Radha Govardhan Prabhu, you want to read? Or maybe Matsya Prabhu, you want to read, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you very much. Sometime ago, Vasudeva, who belongs to the demigod family or to the Sura dynasty, married Devaki. After the marriage, he mounted his chariot to return home with his newly married wife. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. So in that abode, Mathura, Tasyam is Mathurayam. In that place, Kahichit, once upon a time it happened that this person, Shauri, who is son of Shura. So now this is Shura Sena, and this is another Shura Sena, not the one who was son of Sasrarjun. So this is Shura Sena, who is son of Vidurath. Vidurath had a son called as Shurasena. And Shurasena had 10 sons, out of which Vasudev was the eldest. Vasudev had 9 brothers. And also Vasudev had 5 sisters. Shurasena had 5 daughters who were Vasudeva's 5 sisters. So out of them, Kunti is very popular. Yes, and even the others, they were all named with names such as Shruta. They begin with Shruta. So Rajadi Devi, that was also one of the sisters of Vasudeva. So 5 daughters and 10 sons. These were the progeny of Shurasena. And Vasudeva being the eldest, Vasudev's story here is being recounted. So Vasudeva, when he got married, Krutodvaha, Udvaha means marriage. So when he got married, so he was taking his newlywed wife, Devaki, Suryaya. Surya means Navodha. Surya means newly married wife. One who has got just married, then the wife is called as Surya. So with her, he Prayane Rathamaruhat. He wanted her to take to now his house, right? So that's why he mounted the chariot, because he wanted to take her to his own house. So that's when all the further events are going to happen, right? Vishwan Chakravarti. With Devaki, who was newly wedded, that is Suryaya. Suryaya means Navodhaya. Navodha, the Navavadhu, as it's called also in vernacular. Newly wedded. He mounted the chariot in order to proceed to his house. And when is this event happening? On the day after the wedding. This was the next day of the wedding, meaning the wedding festivities got over and this was the next day. Prayane Vivahottar Divase Nijagraham Prayatam. So this was the next day after the marriage festivities, and he was taking his wife Devaki. Vasudeva was taking his wife Devaki to his house. And then we see that, further events. Ugrasena Sutaha Kamsaha Swasuhu Priya Chikirshaya Rashmin Hayanam Jagraha Raukmay Ratha Shatair Vrataha. Okay, Sudhanshu Prabhu, you want to read? Sudhanshu Dikshit.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Dandavat.
Kamsa, the son of King Ugrasena, in order to please his sister Devaki on the occasion of her marriage, took charge of the reins of the horses and became the chariot driver. He was surrounded by hundreds of golden chariots.
Thank you, Prabhu. Ugrasena Sutaha. So this person, Kamsa, he was son of Ugrasena. So when Devaki's marriage happened and Devaki was now to be taken to her husband's house, so much was the affection of Kamsa, who was her brother, cousin brother. It is said, Swasuhu Priya Chikirshaya. In order to Priyam Kartum Ichhaya, Priya Chikirshaya. Priya Chikirshaya means in order to please her. He was so eager to please his sister Devaki that what did he do? Rashmin Hayanam Jagraha. He became actually a charioteer. This is amazing, right? Partha Sarathi, Krishna is Partha Sarathi. So here, Kamsa was so affectionate to his sister that he became Sarathi. And he thought that let me myself drive the chariot and to take my sister to her husband's place. Uh, So that's why he held the reins of the horses of the chariot. Raukmai Ratha Shatair Vrataha. And he was surrounded by many other hundreds of other chariots also, right? Uh, Hundreds of other chariots. 1800 chariots were given by Devaka to, Devaki as Paribarham, as you could say dowry. And dowry word has a negative connotation, but yeah, basically that which is offered by father very voluntarily out of love to his newlywed daughter. That is called paribar or upaskara. These words are there in Shastra. Yautukam, upaskaram, paribarham. So later this dowry thing became extremely very evil and disgusting, right? Where the poor father was forced to give something which he could not afford to give. So, but here we see that Devaka, he being, Devaki being very dear to him, so he offered so much of, so many things, so much of wedding gifts to Devaki. And Kamsa himself, he took the reins of the horses of chariot and wanted to drive his sister to the home of her husband. So Devaki and Vasudeva, so they are husband and wife, and Devaki and Kamsa, they are related as cousin, brother, and sisters. Ahuka, there is one personality in the Yadu dynasty called Ahuka. And this Ahuka had two sons, Ugrasena and Devaka. So Ugrasena and Devaka are brothers. Sometimes Ugrasena is also known as Ahuka. That is because son of Ahuka would also known as Ahuka. In Sanskrit, it is called Tadhita. Like Shura, so son becomes Shauri. But Ahuka, the son would be also called as Ahu, because there is A already there. A would become A, but because it is already A, so Ahuka. So sometimes in Bhagavatam, Ahuka is also used for Ugrasen. But actually, Ugrasen's father's name is Ahuka. So Ugrasena and Devaka, these were the two sons of Ahuka. So Devaka, he had 4 sons and he had 7 daughters, out of which Devaki was one. So Devaki has 6 more sisters, and all of them were married to Vasudeva. Vasudeva was husband of all the 7 daughters of Devaki. So they also went to Devaki. They also went along with Devaki, all these 7 daughters. And Ugrasen had 9 sons, and he had 5 daughters. Kamsa was the eldest, but he also had 8 brothers. Kamsa had 8 brothers. These were all brothers of Kamsa. And after Kamsa is killed, even his other brothers are killed also, because they were also evil. It's mentioned, this. It's also there in Bhagavatam 10th canto. So Kamsa, in this way, had 8 brothers, and he also had 5 sisters named like Kamsa. They were also known as with names such as Kamsa, Dirgha. So that's how Kamsa and Devaki, they were cousin, brother and sister. So because he wanted to please her, so he himself became the charioteer. Sanatana Goswami. Kamsa was the son of Ugrasena. It shows that Devaki is Kamsa's sister. And to make one aware of the way Ugrasena was the ruler there at that time, and also of the way Kamsa behaved. See, Sanatan Goswami many times gives insight into why a certain word is used here. So he is saying, why is Kamsa described as Ugrasena Sutaha? So just it could have been said also just as Kamsa, right? Kamsa, that's it. But Ugrasena Sutaha is mentioned so as to speak about that. Okay, so in that way, he is brother of Devaki. He is Ugrasena's son, and Ugrasena and Devaka are brothers. But still, you see how he is going to behave later. Ugrasen was also that time the chief of the Yadus. So that's why naturally Kamsa had that pride of being son of the chief of the Yadus. Kamsa himself was actually also very powerful. In fact, he was much more powerful than his father also. He was much more powerful than Ugrasen also. But he also had that pride and that arrogance of being the son of a ruler. So that's why these all sense, this particular sense is being brought out from that phrase Ugrasena Sutaha. So he behaved in a way that was very troublesome later. So right now he is showing so much affection to Devaki as, okay, my dear sister. But then that same Kamsa, he will flip his behavior completely. As soon as he comes to know that Devaki's son only is going to kill him, so then we see that how immediately he changes his nature. His evil nature becomes so prominent, right? That's how the non-devotees are. Harava bhaktasya kuto mahadguna, right? Manorathe nasati dhavato bahi. Harava bhaktasya, one who is non-devotee, one who is not a devotee of Hari. Kuto mahadguna, what great qualities do they have? Manorathena asati dhavato bahi. They are actually always hovering on the chariot of their mind. Meaning, such people can flip their natures very quickly, immediately. They might behave like they are very affectionate, and immediately with one swing of the mood, then they can behave as the most treacherous, most evil people of the whole planet, like that. So Kamsa also, we see that he is showing affection here, but because his nature was very wicked, that's the word also, right? Kamsa. Sanatana Goswami speaks about that also. He is well known by the name Kamsa on account of his harm to the world. Jagad Himsaya Kamsa. He was the one, he was known as Kamsa because of this very violent nature of punishing. Kamsa, the word Kams has kas as the dhatu. Kasi. So Kasi, it is said, Kasi gati shasana yoho. Panini, he tells in his dhatu part that the kas dhatu means to go, or the second meaning is applicable here to punish, shasan. So to punish, that is to punish, to destroy. Shatane also, shatane or shasane, both meanings are there. So Kamsa was like that. He was a great punisher. He would punish severely. He would also destroy everything. So Jagat Himsaya, his nature was only to perform great violence towards other people. He had that wicked nature. So that is because the verbal root dhatu has the sense of shatana. Shatana means to destroy, to ruin, to finish off. So he was like that. He was the one who was destroying the world, destroying the people, punishing the people. By Vasuhu Priya Chikirshaya, Kamsa's great affection for Devaki is implied. Everything starting from this is for the sake of informing about Kamsa's uttermost wickedness, manifested through various malevolent actions about to be described. So his great affection is being shown to Devaki in order to draw a stark contrast, a complete contrast of his personality will be then very stark, will be very visible, will be very poignant. That's the point actually. That's why his great affection, which was just on the mental platform, is being shown over here this way. So at the uh, slight point of his sense gratification being disturbed, or he in this way getting that curse or like that, then you see that the way he behaves is like extremely unimaginably wicked or evil. So that is that contrast is being made through this verse, Priya Chikirshaya and all that. Kamsa word, also one of the etymologies is Kam Sukham Syati iti Kamsaha. Sukham, come here means ka. Ka means here Sukha. Sukha. So, Kam Syati, which means that one who kills or destroys the happiness, like that. That is called Kamsa. Kam Sukham Syati. So he kills happiness of the people. That is called Kamsa. He kills the happiness of people. He punishes the people. That's called Kamsa, like that. In fact, you all know, right? Kamsa was not son of even Ugrasen. Kamsa was actually son of a person called as Drumila. Kamsa's mother's name was, Ugrasena's wife's name was Padmavati. And Padmavati, she was a very most beautiful person. She was very beautiful queen of Ugrasena. So one time when she went, I think it is Gandhamadan mountain. This is mentioned in Harivamsha. So one time when she went to this Gandhamadan mountains, so there came a person known as Drumila, and this Drumil was he was actually a very evil person. He was a Danava, and he had this airplane called as Saubha. So he would, wherever he would go in that airplane. Saubhadhipati, he is described as Saubhadhipati, the master of that Saubha. That airplane was like an abode itself. It was like a huge city itself, and he was the huge, such aerial city, you could say. He was the master of that. So he was very arrogant and proud, and also very treacherous person. So when he saw Padmavati, she was there going in that garden along with her friends. So when he saw Padmavati, this person being very evil, so he became very lusty and wanted to enjoy her, who is actually Ugrasena's wife, Padmavati. But he was very treacherous also. So he took the form of Ugrasena. So he took the form of Ugrasena, and then that's how he violated the chastity of Padmavati. So when Padmavati realized this, then she became so distressed actually, and she became very angry also, because she was violated like this, cheated like this by this Drumila. So she cursed Drumila that uh, this you as well as this son who will be born because of this irreligious act. So that son will be killed by the Lord. By Lord, he will be killed. So that's how she cursed. So when she was asking the Drumila, saying, Kasya re, whose son are you? You are such a despicable person. Uh, you are such a wicked man. Whose son are you? Who are you? Like that she asked. So because she asked that question, Kasya, so then Saubha, this Drumila said, oh, you are asking me a lot of questions. You are thinking that you are the best of Crestual of chaste ladies. So he said that your son will be named as Kamsa, and he will become the torturer of the whole world. because you are asking me kasya re, kasya, kasyasti. So that's why he will be known as Kamsa, which obviously means that one who Kamsyati, one who kills all the happiness of people. That's all. So that's how Kamsa was born actually. So he's Kshetraja Putra. He is not actually Shukraja Putra. He's not a seminal son of Ugrasen, but it is called Kshetraja in Sanskrit. He was born in his wife's womb. So Drumila was father of Kamsa, and because Drumila himself was a wicked soul, so Kamsa was also inheriting. Naturally, we know that he's Kalanemi also, that other aspect. But the point is, yeah, even these things happened. And this whole story was revealed by Narada to Kamsa. Before that, Kamsa did not know that Drumila is his father. He thought always that Ugrasena is his father because Ugrasen never mentioned this thing to Kamsa, or even his mother never mentioned. But Narada, Narada Muni told. Once Narada visited, and Narada Muni, you know how it is. He is right. So, in order to expedite Lord's coming in this world, he wanted Kamsa to expedite the killing of Devaki's son. So that time Devaki was pregnant. So Narada revealed to Kamsa that actually Ugrasen is not even father, he's not even your father. Drumila is your father. So after that incident, Kamsa became extremely angry and envious also of Ugrasen. Whatever affection he had before, that also went away. So he started hating his mother and father also, Padmavati and Ugrasen, like that. So anyhow, the point is that Narad Muni did this just as his service to expedite the matter. That was the thing. So yeah, then that's how Kamsa came to know. So that is Kamsa actually. He is Drumila's son. All right, so we continue. Chatushatam paribarham gajanam hema malinam ashvanam ayutam sardham rathanam cha trishatshatam dasinam sukumarinam dveshate samalam krite duhitre devakah pradad yane duhitru vatsalah. Okay. Yes. Mathura Chandra Prabhu, you want to read? Mathura Chandra Prabhu, or maybe then Rati Manjari Priya Mataji, are you willing to read?
Hare Krishna, Babaji, please accept my obeisances.
Humble obeisances.
Yes, Babaji. Translation. Devaki's father, King Devaka, was very much affectionate to his daughter. Therefore, while she and her husband were leaving home, he gave her a dowry of 400 elephants nicely decorated with golden garlands. He also gave 10,000 horses, 1,800 chariots, and 200 very beautiful young maidservants, fully decorated with ornaments. Thank you, Babaji.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So you can say when Devaki was being sent off to her husband's place, so Devaka, he offered so much of wedding gift to his daughter. So these two verses describe it. Chatushatam pari barham gajanam hemamalinam. So 400 elephants were there, which were fully decorated by golden ornaments. 400 elephants. Ashwanam ayutam, 10,000 horses, well decorated horses also. 10,000 of them. One ayuta is 10,000. Rathanam cha trishat shatam, and trishat shatam, 3 into 6, 18 shatam, 1800. So 1800 chariots also. Right? Sometimes the father may give a car, a huge car, to his daughter as a wedding gift. So here, 1800 chariots Devaka gave. They were in 3 different categories. So it's not just one brand car also. It's like 3 different brands Jiva Goswami says they were of three different features. The 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 chariots were not similar. They were of three different choices. So 600, 600, 600 like that. Dasinam Sukumarinam Dveshate, and also 200 maid servants followed Devaki in order to take care of her, in order to serve her. So they would live with her and take care of her in this way. These were also most beautiful dasis also. Sukumarinam Samalankrite Duhitre Devakaha Pradad. So in this way, Devaka, father of Devaki, gave all these wonderful gifts to his daughter Yane while she was living. Duhitri Vatsalaha, because he was very affectionate to his daughter. All the daughters, right? All of them are married to Vasudeva. So he was very affectionate, but he was especially affectionate to Devaki because she was the youngest. Father is often very attached to the youngest daughter, right? So Duhitri Vatsala, she was the Kanishtha, she was the youngest, so he was very, very attached to Devaki, like that. So that's all. Sanatan Goswami. Moreover, surely that sort of cruelty is impossible in such a festival. While describing the wedding festival in 3 verses, at first with this set of 2 verses, he talks about the bestowal of articles, Upaskara Pradhanam. So such is the festive atmosphere, such was the happy, joyous occasion. And then in that occasion, how can you expect such a cruelty, right? So again, that point of showing what a contrast, like that. What a contrast of behaviors over here. He says that. Yeah, you can see. Kincha, moreover, Tadrush Mahotsave Tadrusham Krovyam na kila sambhave. Tadrush Mahotsava. Actually, such was the festivities. Tadrusham Krauryam, but then, another level of cruelty was shown, right, by Kamsa, where he was about to kill the newlywed sister. Um, So, na kila sambhavet, in order to draw this emotion of how could such a cruelty prevail over a festival which is like such a joyous occasion, right? Marriage festivity of one's own sister, how much one should be happy. Father is happy, is giving so many gifts, and everything is like so festive. Tadrush Mahotsave, how could such cruelty exist over there? So, in order to show this is described actually. That's the purpose of describing this bestowal of articles, Upaskara Pradhanam. The reason Devaka gave so much is either he had much parental affection for his daughters, Duhitru Vatsalaha, or he had much parental affection for Devaki, uh, his youngest daughter. So he was affectionate to all the daughters, but all the more towards Devaki. He was extremely affectionate towards Devaki. So that's why he gave so much of these wedding gifts. Vijay Dhwaj Tirtha from the Madhva Sampradaya, he says, Vivaha kale duhitre yadiyamanam dhanam tat pari barham nama. He says, what is the meaning of pari barham? That word has come, no? In the verse pari barham. Yeah. So this is the pari barham. So he says, Vivaha kale, at the time of the wedding, duhitre yadiyamanam dhanam. That wealth or those articles, accessories, accoutrements, which are given to the daughter, they are known as paribar. Wealth given to a daughter at the time of her wedding is called paribar. Like that. So that's the point. So much had been offered here, and we see that this was the festivity. Prabhupada says the system of giving dowry to one's daughter has existed in Vedic civilization for a very long time. So giving the wedding gift to daughter, that's not a problem. That custom is very appropriate. It is Vedic. It's just that, yeah, it turned into a very evil thing, right? Even Prabhupada speaks about the sati, the rites like sati, uh, where the wife would voluntarily give up her life once the husband is dead. Uh, so that was a completely voluntary thing, but it degenerated into extremely evil custom where, although the wife is unwilling, although she was like it was voluntary, but then she was being forced to jump on the funeral pyre, especially in the time of Bhaktivinoda Thakur and all. It was like very horrible scene in Bengal and those regions where the poor woman who has lost her husband, she was forcibly pushed into the funeral pyre, and she was like burned to death by that. So yeah, so that had degenerated into such a horrible thing. So that's why then we see that the British government also took it upon themselves to stop this custom, and it became illegal after that. So this way, so many of these things, which are Vedic things, we see that their degeneration causes a great kind of uh, great kind of repulsion and hatred towards these customs or like that, and which is okay. I mean, we should follow the law certainly. These are these things are in a way that to stop all this cruelty and all, that is good only. But the point is that to ridicule the whole idea of scriptures, not understanding its significance, right? That is what is very unfortunate. Many of the so-called Puranologists and all these guys, not knowing all these customs or the philosophy behind those customs, even something like Varnashrama, right? It is so much ridiculed as caste system or like that. Yeah, the term like Manuvadi, Manu is actually the progenitor of mankind. He is the one who has given the code of conduct for everyone, Manusmriti. But the Manuvadi, Manuist, that term has a complete negative connotation, isn't it? It has very pejorative sense actually. You are considered as negative person when you are Manuvadi. Speak or quote Manu this way. So these things are because of all degeneration. This way. Prabhupada says finally also, these are all old customs in the society of Varnashrama Dharma, which is wrongly designated as Hindu. These long-standing customs are nicely described this way. Okay. So the point was that even that whole dowry was voluntary. Voluntary meaning from father's side, based on whatever is his economical condition financially. So it was voluntary. It was never forced. It was never demanded. That's the point. There are different kinds of marriage. Manu speaks about 8 kinds of marriage, and in that you see the pari barha, the aspect of what you get as a wedding gift is also different actually. Very different in that. All 8 kinds of marriages have very different ideas of what is a wedding gift. It was never a push thing, a thing which is demanded or like. All right, text 33. We are coming to end. Maybe 2 more verses and I stop. Shankhaturi amradangascha nedurdundu bhaya samam prayana prakrame tata varavadvoho sumangalam. All right. First 2 verses. Prahladanand Prabhu, do you want to read, Prabhu? Prahladanand Prabhu or Sukumari Lalita Mataji, do you want to read?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Oh, beloved son.
Yeah. Okay.
Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji, you can read, and then we'll end with Prahladanand Prabhu's. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. O beloved son, Maharaj Parikshit, when the bride and bridegroom were ready to start, conch shell, bugles, mridanga, drums, and kettle drums are vibrated in concert for their auspicious departure. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you, Madhuji. Thank you. So when they were leaving Prayana Prakrame, when Devaki and Vasudeva were leaving, then Shankha, the conch shells, and then all these various bugles, mridangas, everything, they sounded automatically, actually, simultaneously, samam, and also automatically, swataha. And that indicated great auspiciousness for Vara and Vadhu. The great auspiciousness. Of course, the situation is going to turn into great inauspiciousness immediately. But then point is, it is a great auspiciousness, right? Because Devaki is going to be the mother of our Lord. So that's the most auspicious thing. So in that way, Varavadho Sumangalam. Yeah. Sanatana Goswami says at the outset, when they were about to leave, the instruments played by themselves, Neduhu Swayam Avadyanta, they started themselves playing the instruments. And this happened also on Vasudeva's birth, Anaka Dundubhi, and these two instruments called Anaka and Dundubhi, these both started resounding, playing on their own. So that was actually great auspiciousness. That was a very great auspiciousness. It showed that, Vasudeva knew about this thing, that he was told by the sages that this was the sign of you becoming the father of the Supreme Lord. You will have Supreme Lord as your son. That's why he's known as Anakadundubhi. At his birth, these kettle drums had resounded like that. So something similar happened here also when he was married and he was about to leave for his house along with Devaki. This was a sign of a future auspiciousness. So all the instruments, they played by themselves and also simultaneously. Tata is a vocative uttered with Vatsalya, affection for a junior, owing to a thrill of joy due to the nearness of the Lord's descent. So Tata, this word Tata, has been spoken by Shukdev Goswami to Parikshit. So word Tata is interesting, actually. You can call a junior Tata, or junior can call senior also as a Tata. Tata word has the sense of affection. So a child can be called as Tata. And typically that's how it is used most of the times. But it is also used to call father or to call uncle. That also, other way around also, that one could say Tata. So it is in that way, both ways it is used. So Srila Shukdev Goswami is calling Parikshit as Tata because he was, he felt great Vatsalya. Now Lord's appearance is going to come. Vasudeva and Devaki's marriage is reminding Shukadev about that how Lord is going to appear as the son of Devaki. So that Vatsalya towards the Parikshit is appearing in the heart of Shukadev, thinking about the Vatsalya of Devaki and Vasudeva towards the Lord. So with that joy, he said Tata. Or else it can also mean that Tata is under the sway of grief due to remembering the upcoming unbecoming event during such a grand festival. He is saying Tata also because Tadrish Mahotsave Bhavi Anarthapat Smaranena Shoka Vega. He is saying Tata because of this distress he is feeling, that, oh, such a festivity, and in such a festivity, this person, Kamsa, he's going to draw a sword and he's going to try the newly wed sister. What a terrible thing. Bhavi Anarthapat Smaranena. This anartha that is going to happen in the future. So because of that, he felt also some sort of sway of grief, shoka, vega, urge of grief. And in that he called out Tata. See, these emotions are there in personalities like Shukadeva or Parikshit, right? Even when Parikshit was hearing, it was not just hearing, no. he was absorbed in those pastimes. He actually experienced emotions. He experienced anger, he experienced fear, he experienced joy, like that. So many different places, and those emotions are described like that. Same way with Shukadev also. It was not just a what you can say clinical kind of discourse where there is a presentation devoid of any emotions or like that. No, it was full of emotions. So sometimes Sanatana Goswami, he reveals those emotions, those vocatives, they have this sort of emotion. Okay. I just wish to take this last verse in case any of you need to leave, please go ahead. I wanted to finish this text 34 and then stop. So we will pause with this last. Pathi pragrahinam kamsam आभाषाः शरीरवाक् अस्यास्त्वाम् अष्टमो गर्भो हन्तायां वहसे बुध. All right, Pradhan Prabhu, you want to read?
Yes, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
Dandavat
While
Pranam.
Kansa, controlling the reins of the horses, was driving the chariot along the way, an unembodied voice addressed him. You foolish rascal, the eighth child of the woman you are carrying will kill you. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare
So when in this way, this festivity wonderful was going on, Kamsa was driving the chariot. So Pathi, on the way, after going some distance, what happened was, Ashariravaak, Ashariravaak. There was a celestial voice, and it is described as Asharir Vak. Usually, when Vak or the speech emerges, it emerges from someone, right? Someone will speak, some living being will speak, like that. Especially when you hear a voice which is like a language which is spoken. So words, they will come like that from some living person. But here was a Sharira Vak. And here was a celestial, there was a voice, but there was no body seen. Who is speaking this? Who is speaking? It was only the voice was heard, and there was nobody seen speaking it or like that. And this voice spoke to Kamsa. Kamsam Abhashya. In fact, it addressed Kamsa. Re Kamsa. You fool Kamsa. In Sanskrita, re is used when you want to address someone with disrespect. Re Kamsa. So that particular voice, those were the Devatas actually. Devatas addressed Kamsa as Re Kamsa. Are comes in vernaculars also, right? So same way, Re is actually extremely disrespectful. When you want to say somebody disrespectfully, then you use Re. The respectful address is Aho or Ai, Ai Nanda Tanusha Kinkara. Aho or Bho. Bho is also very respectful. Bho Rama Mama Uddhara. So in Sanskrit, you see, whenever there is Sambodhana, depending on whether Bho, He, Ai, these are used or Re is used, there is a sense that comes also. So these words of the demigods, they addressed Kamsa with some anger, obviously, and disrespect, right? All the Devatas were always angry on Kamsa because he had defeated all of them. So the voice said, Asyaha Ashtamo Garbho, Asyaha of this Devaki, the eighth child of this Devaki, Garbha, literally child. The voice, celestial voice, the Devatas, they never mentioned whether daughter or son. Ashtama Garbha. Garbha can now mean anything, right? Garbha has many meanings. Garbha can mean embryo also, and Garbha can mean womb also. And Garbha can mean son also, Garbha can mean daughter also. So Ashtama Garbho, this Devaki's eighth child, Hanta, will kill you. Yam Vahase Abudha, and you are such a fool, Abudha, that you are carrying her only, Yam Vahase. You are carrying her it is like carrying your death only. You are such a fool. Eighth child of this woman, this Devaki, is going to kill you. So that's what the celestial voice spoke to Kamsa. All right. Sridhar Swami. Abhashya means Rere Kamsa iti Sambodhya. Abhashya has the sense of first Kamsa was disrespectfully addressed by them. Re Kamsa, like that. Those who are from Hindi language also, they must be knowing this. And Re is like that. Re is quite casual and disrespectful sometimes. Hey is very respectful, right? Hey Prabhu. That's right. So, all right. Hey, Kamsa. In English, everything is hey. There is no Re or Bo or like that. At least not in my knowledge. Hanta means Hanishyati, he will kill. Vishwan Chakravarti says the use of the word Garbha instead of Putra is so that when Kamsa will see Devaki's baby girl, he will have no doubt that she is her eighth child. They did not even reveal whether son or daughter. Why? Because they wanted that even if Kamsa sees a daughter, he should try to kill that daughter also, thinking that, well, daughter also can kill me. They never said son or daughter. So that's why deliberately Devata spoke like that. That if Vasudev gets daughter or Vasudev gets son in between, before the eighth child, whatever, eighth is certainly going to be son, but before that he gets daughter or son or whatever, Kamsa should kill. Kamsa, meaning, should at least be angry on that child. In this way, if he if he acts in a way which is very inimical, then Lord's appearance will be expedited. That's the point. Asharira Vak means Akashe Adrishta Shariranam Devanam Vani. The voice in the sky that was of gods or demigods whose bodies were unseen. The demigods were troubled by anxiety. Why would the Lord kill Kamsa, who had so much affection for his own mother? So that's why their purpose was to induce Kamsa to commit an offense to Devata. So Devatas also, they have their own enmity towards Kamsa, right? But they also understand that Lord's appearance is going to be there. I mean, this eighth child is going to kill. So that much knowledge is there with them also. So that's why they are speaking in a way that Kamsa will commit an offense to Devaki. And in this way, Lord's appearance will be expedited. So is it something which is a fault on the part of Devatas? Well, one thing is that one aspect may be there, that there is a desire to expedite Lord's presence, to fasten on the appearance of the Lord, and to make sure that the Kamsa, he is destroyed. That aspect may be there. But then Devatas are also not pure devotees, right? Many of the Devatas at least. So they also have their own vengeance and these feelings of vengeance. So that's why this sort of behavior may have both the aspects, actually, the aspect of personal vengeance, because Kamsa had defeated all the Devatas very terribly by going to Swarga and all these places. And secondly, also they do understand the plan of the Lord in terms of the eighth child of Devaki is going to be Lord himself, and he is going to kill Kamsa. So in that way, they just want to make sure that Lord is angry on Kamsa. He is not carried away by Kamsa's affectionate behavior towards Devaki, like that. Another motive was to make Vasudev certain about the Lord's descent. This was also another purpose. Vasudev had heard about how Lord will be born to him as his son. But now here Devatas, by this celestial voice, they wanted to make sure that even the Vasudev gets a confirmation. Indeed, Lord is going to become my son. I personally heard that celestial voice. That's how Vasudeva will feel. I myself also heard it, not only at my birth. Sages heard it, or whatever. Some people whoever heard it, but I myself also heard it. That would be once Vasudeva hears this. Vasudeva had heard from his mother and others about the resounding of kettle drums at his birth, and how this was an indication of the upcoming descent of the Lord from himself. So that much he had heard, he knew about it. So now here was a confirmation or reconfirmation. The demigods addressed Kamsa in this way also to delight Devaki, who will be thinking, the Lord will take birth in my womb. What a joy. So Devaki also was to be delighted. She is mother of the Lord. So Devatas also wanted to please Devaki by giving her this news that she will be the one who will have the Lord as her child, eighth child. An additional reason was to release Marichi's 6 sons from a curse by the death at the hands of Kamsa. And finally, we also know that as the part of this whole Leela Yojana, this whole arrangement of the pastime, Marichi's 6 sons, when they laughed at Brahmaji when he was running behind Saraswati, so then those Marichi's 6 sons, they were cursed by Brahma, and they were born as sons of Kalanemi in their next life. So Kalanemi was son of Hiranyaksha. Sometimes it is said Hiranyakashipu also, but that seems to be not so much plausible, right? Because Hiranyakashipu had these 5 sons, Prahlad and all. So Kalanemi, his son of Hiranyaksha, and these Marichi's sons, they became sons of Kalanemi. So Kalanemi was a demon, and these, because of Brahmaji's curse, all these 6 sons of Marichi, they became Kalanemi's sons, sons of a demon. That's what Brahma had cursed them. So these 6 sons of Kalanemi, they performed austerity to please Brahma, and they sought a boon from Brahma. But when this came to be known to Hiranyakashipu, he was very angry on his, all these sons. You could say that they are his grandsons because they are Kalnemi's sons, no? So Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu are brothers. So Kalnemi's sons would be like grandsons for Hiranyakashipu. So he was very upset with these grandsons, saying that, why did they take shelter of Brahma? It is amazing, no? Hiranyakashipu himself worshipped Brahma, but once he became that, greatly powerful person, and he became the controller of all the 3 worlds, then now his grandsons worshipping Brahma, he is not able to tolerate that. Now you should worship me, although I worshipped Brahma. But why are you worshipping Brahma? You should worship me. That's why he was very angry. And, he developed, he said that your father has not given you proper training. Your father has not taught you whom to be submissive. So I curse that all of you will be killed by your own father. So he cursed, Hiranyakashipu cursed all these 6 sons of Kalanemi that they will be cursed by their father only. So, but this curse took effect in the next life, where those 6 sons came as Devaki's 6 sons, 6 Garbhas, and Kalanemi came as Kamsa. So once Kamsa will kill these 6 sons, then they will be freed from that particular curse or original curse. It will be over. Then they will go back to Marichi. So the whole thing was also arranged as part of the pastime. You can see it's like many things are there in Lord's pastime. Like here we see Brahmaji's curse is also taking place. So not everything is under, you could say, the potency of the Lord, Chit Shakti or Leela Shakti of the Lord. Not everything. The point is that there are multiple factors. There are certain things which are coming from Brahmaji's curse, And then there are certain things coming from Hiranyakashipu's curse, who is, of course, Jai Vijay, so that is acceptable. But then still there are other factors, right? Like Brahmaji's curse and all that. And that too also in a way that when Brahma was behaving in a certain manner like that. So that time Brahma had not heard Chatushloki actually, and that as per Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti, because he had not heard Chatushloki, so that's why his behavior was not up to the mark where he ran behind Saraswati. So under the sway of that, even Brahma cursing all these six sons, although he is most exalted Brahma, but still it can be conjectured that it cannot be taken as like complete arrangement of the Lord or like, because only after hearing Chatushloki then we see that Brahma he became the pure devotee of Krishna like that. So that Brahma by our tradition is a different person altogether because Chatushloki was heard in the first day of Brahma. So if Brahma is running behind Saraswati, his own daughter, Vak or Saraswati, then that particular pastime, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti says, Jiva Goswami also, that it must have happened in some other kalpa. But because Chatushloki was heard in the first kalpa itself, so that's why it has to be not just another kalpa, but another Brahma itself. It has to be another Brahma actually. He cannot be the Chaturmukha Brahma. That story, Chaturmukha in the sense that the same Brahma that we have in this Brahmanda, it can't be like that. So that's the point. So anyhow, my point was only to convey this point that in Lord's Leela, no, multiple Shaktis can take effect. There is something coming from Leela Shakti aspect, something coming from the Maya Shakti aspect also, because there are some beings here who may not be completely under Chit Shakti, they may be under also Maya Shakti. Not everyone is a pure devotee in the Leela of the Lord. So multiple factors. So that's all. I just wanted to drive home that particular point. So in this way, Vishwanath Chakravarti has very nicely given various reasons why Devatas acted in such a way. So certainly they wanted to please Devaki, Vasudev, and they also wanted to expedite the killing of, the wrong behavior of Kamsa in this way. So that's how we see that they're acting in this fashion. All right. Thank you very much. I'm really sorry to go so much overboard. I just wanted to finish this section. So thank you all very much for your patient listening. And if there are any questions you may ask, I would stay back. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, Mahat Seva Prabhu.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, thank you for wonderful class. Prabhuji, I have 3-4 questions. But first one is, Prabhu, father of Sursen was Sri Devamid. Correct, no? You said Vidura, I think that comes in the dynasty or something. And this whole family tree is a bit complex. I think I have to hear this lecture again. If you can.
Yeah. See, there is Shurasena. There is Shurasena. See, these two must be the same personality, Prabhu, because no. Okay, one. I understand you are talking from the Aishwarya Kadambini, where it's described the Parjanya and also Shurasena, right?
Yes.
These personalities, and so yeah, maybe we put it in some mapping format then.
Okay.
Bhagavatam itself, 9th canto describes the name of Shurasena's father as Viduratha. 9th canto mentions that. So it must be the same person.
Or some other Vidura, bro?
Not Viduratha.
Oh.
Yeah.
So different Vidura?
See, Prabhu, I'm saying Viduratha.
Okay.
Viduratha.
Okay. That's different name also. Okay. Sometimes if family tree is possible, I mean.
Yeah, we should. In these sessions, we should try to at least give a sense of whole thing. I will try to connect this in a proper mapping format. Of course, it is there in 10th canto itself, it is depicted, but yeah, whatever is handy for our purpose, that much we can.
Okay. For the other question, this Vrindavan Parityaja Padam Ekam Na Gacchati, this I heard from a very senior devotee that this is basically with the reference of Goloka, he mentioned, not Bhaum Vrindavan. So in that context, if that is correct, I don't know. Then Prabhuji, Mathura here includes, like it is mentioned that he doesn't go outside Mathura. So Mathura can include Goloka and Bhaum Vrindavan both?
See, Vrindavanam Parityajya Padam Ekam Na Gacchati, this aspect, it is true. It is understood in two ways. One thing is that the leaving of Vraja and to go to Mathura, this pastime happens only in the material world. Bhaktivinoda Thakur speaks about this in Chaitanya Shikshamrita. So, Vraja Gaman, Vrajat Gaman. So, leaving Vraja, this does not happen in Goloka. So, that's why Vrindavanam Parityaja Padam Ekam Na Gacchati. But when Lord is performing pastimes even in this world, we see that the aspect that different ways it is understood. One thing is that when Lord leaves Vrindavan in the material world, meaning Bhaum Vrindavan, when he leaves, indeed he leaves Vrindavan, right? He goes, leaving Vrindavan, he goes to Mathura, and that is Sri Krishna himself. But Sri Krishna also remains within the Aprakata Rupa. Rupa Goswami says that he stays in the Spurti of Vrindavan, in the Spurti, in that inspiration that is constantly there amongst the Brajvasis. So in that form, they are able to constantly see him, and that form never ever goes away, although actually he goes away also. But in that form, he never left. So in that way, he was always there with them through that Spurti. But Rupa Goswami also agrees that there was a certain times, certainly when Lord Krishna stayed away from Vrindavan, he leaves Vrindavan and then comes back. Now, whether that time is 2 months or that time is quite many years, there is some difference over that. Rupa Goswami says Lord Krishna stayed away from Vrindavan only for 2 months, he says. While Jiva Goswami says that he stayed for quite a long time. He came only after killing of Dantavakra. But then in both of these cases, Prabhu, the way Acharyas have explained is that there is this one aspect where he constantly stays in unmanifest form, in the Spurti, in that internal meditation of the Brajvasis, and that's how they could access him. That's what kept them also very hopeful and alive in that manner. So that is also one sense in which Laghu Bhagavatamrita explains Vrindavanam Parityaja Padam Ekam Na Gacchati. Because as far as if we restrict it to Mathura Mandal, but then he is leaving Mathura also to go to Dwarka, right? He is leaving Mathura also. So if we say Vrindavanam, okay, let's take it to main Mathura, but then he leaves Mathuram also and then goes to Dwarka that way. So here in this world, when he's performing pastime, Rupa Goswami's opinion is that he does leave Vrindavan. He does leave. At least in one form, he is certainly leaving Vrindavan. Okay, in the form of that internal meditation, he might be staying, but he actually also physically leaves Vrindavan.
Yes, Prabhuji, because one explanation often I heard is like Vasudev Krishna only goes and Shyam Sundar stays, but in other explanation I heard that no, Shyam Sundar himself has left Vrindavan and went to Mathura and Dwarika. So that was confusing.
Yeah, at least Rupa Goswami says that.
Okay.
I can see that Rupa Goswami says that. But in spiritual world, yeah, in spiritual world, this sort of Leela is only not there.
Yeah.
And there, Krishna just never leaves Vrindavan. He just stays there only.
And Prabhuji, a small one, like Chaturshloki was heard before creation of the material world? Was it? Is it? Or no?
Yeah, as per Bhagavatam, Chatushloki is heard on the first day, Prabhu, of Brahma, so which is Brahma Kalpa.
Mm.
So now that is first day of Brahma. So if
It is
we
not
take,
clear that whether before material world creation or after, that is not mentioned.
no, it is before creation only, Prabhu.
Before
He
creation.
was born on that lotus, and then before creation only. So before creation. But you know that in every day of Brahma, like see, this particular Chatushloki's explanation, it is also there is some difference of opinion, but on exactly which day of Brahma Chatushloki was spoken, there is some difference of opinion on that. But if you take Bhagavatam's version itself, in the second canto, 8th chapter, it speaks. So it is said there that very much that it was spoken in Brahmakalpa. And Brahmakalpa is the first day of Brahma, first day of Brahma in his first year also. So first day, first year when he is born, and there is no creation or anything that sort of creation, meaning certain creation is done only, like the part of Sarga is obviously done, but there is no Visarga yet done. And before doing Visarga, the Chatushloki has been spoken to Brahma. And then after hearing Chatushloki, he becomes complete with knowledge of creation and also the knowledge of bhakti and everything, all the aspects. So as per Bhagavatam, this happened on the first day only, Prabhu. So first day means first year's first day. Right now, Brahma is having 51st year's first day.
Yeah. So that's
He
why
has completed.
that's why they say that it is some other Brahma who ran after.
Yeah. So that's why it is Srila Jeev Goswami and Vishwanath Chakravarti's opinion that the pastime of Saraswati, pastime of Brahma running behind Saraswati, that cannot happen after Brahma has heard Chatushloki. Because he got this benediction that, Bhavan Kalpa Vikalpeshu na vimujyati karhichit. You will never ever get bewildered by my Maya in any of the kalpas. So they say that this bewilderment is certainly not by Lord's own desire. It is a bewilderment which has happened by Maya. So because Brahma received this benediction that you will never be bewildered by Maya, so it has to be some other Brahma. It is not happening with this Brahma. That's the idea.
Yeah. Amazing. Amazing analysis. And lastly, Prabhuji, it was surprising. I think you have answered already that Hiranyakashipu can also curse. I mean, his curse is also effective. I mean, just a thought.
These are the powerful beings of prior ages and all. Yes.
Yeah.
So
Maybe you said
Hiranyakashipu's.
Jai Vijay. Maybe that could be the answer. I think. Not sure.
Yeah, I did not see anyone analyzing that.
Okay.
But,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
Praladanand Prabhu.
Dhanwad Pranam Prabhuji. In this context, I was reading Brahma Samhita introduction, where definition of Swayambhu Brahma is written there. It says that Brahma, upon his emergence from the lotus, starts contemplating act of cosmic creation, but seeing only darkness about it, bewildered performance of his duty. Saraswati, the goddess of learning, appears before him. So this Saraswati is before creation, or is she created by Brahma, or is she come from spiritual world?
Actually, see, Prabhu, that word there in Brahma Samhita is Divya Saraswati. So she is known as Divya Saraswati. But actually, the meaning of Divya Saraswati, the way Acharyas have taken, no Prabhu, is the words of the Lord. It is not taken as a certain personality, as a Saraswati, which is like a transcendental Saraswati, or like. Yes, Lord's speech is personified by a personality called as Divya Saraswati or the transcendental goddess Saraswati. But there, the meaning of the text, the way Jiva Goswami has explained is, it's just plain that he heard the Lord's words. That's it. And those words are known as, basically the words were tapa, tapa, tapa. And then after tapa, he was also revealed with the 6th and 7th Gayatris that we chant as part of Brahman initiation. So that word there, Divya Saraswati, should be taken to mean he heard the words of the Lord. That's all.
Okay.
Now, it is true that there is one Saraswati called as Divya Saraswati who is actually Lord's consort. And she is not Brahma's consort. And the Prakrit Saraswati is Brahma's consort, but Divya Saraswati is Lord's consort. But as far as I remember, I don't see anybody is translating it in that manner that, okay, there was this personality, this consort of Lord who appeared to Brahma and she gave those mantras or like that. At least not in my remembrance, any such explanation is given. It is plainly said there that he heard the words of the Lord. That's it.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. And another thing is, on Sundays, we are starting at what time? India time? 7
7:30.
p.m.?
7:30.
7:30? Okay. Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, no problem. Anyone else wants to ask anything?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Namotar Dasya.
Namotar, bro.
Yes. Prabhuji, these 6 sons of Marichi were the 6 sons of Kalnemi, which were cursed by Brahmaji to be killed by their father, Kalnemi's Kamsana. Am I right, Prabhuji?
No. See, Brahma cursed Marichi's sons because they laughed while he was running behind Saraswati. So
Yes.
Brahma cursed to them that you will become the sons of a demon. Your behavior is, third class or whatever. It's not an Arya. So you will become sons of a demon. So that's when, because of that curse of Brahma, they became sons of Kalanemi. Kalanemi was a demon. He was killed by the Lord. So Kalanemi's sons are these Marichi's sons, in the sense, in prior birth they were Marichi's sons. Now they have become Kalanemi's son. So this is the effect of Brahma's curse. Okay.
Right.
Now in that life they again get a curse by Hiranyakashipu, saying that because you have worshipped Brahma, they had in that birth they worshipped Brahma. So Hiranyakashipu curses them that all of you will be killed by your own father because your father has not raised you properly. So that's how Kalanemi would be killing the sons, meaning his own sons.
Yes.
So if this curse took effect in the next life, where Kalanemi came as Kamsa, and those 6 sons of Kalanemi came as sons of Deva. And then that's how the curse got fulfilled.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Anangmanjari Mataji, yes.
Ji, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, then if this is not this Brahma, then why this episode of Sons of Marichi is coming in this Brahma's time?
Yeah. So that's how. The point is, that's a good question actually. That was a question for which I was also sort of trying to connect the dots, because as we see here that the particular curse that is coming in picture is from Brahma's that particular episode.
Yes.
Like that. So now, whether it is being carried forward or anything like that, on this, as I said, Mataji, I also have to connect it in a way. So if I get the answer, I'll tell you.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you. It was a good question. Anyone else wants to ask anything? Okay, so then thank you all very much. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Kripa Sindhu Patitanam Pavanebhyo
Pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Bol.
Thank you so much.
Hare